Hello everyone. Let's get down to this. You must be familiar with the clause, that popular clause. How did we get here? I heard that said over and over again, and if I got a penny for every time I got that, I should be a billionaire by now. Thank goodness that has never been something I used or I said, because as people choose to ask that question, I've noticed that they do not really bother to explain how we got where we are today in the world. Plus, deep down inside of me, I have always felt that we do know how we got here. So instead of using that question, I've decided to share what I think got us where we are today in the world. You may have a different opinion. You're welcome to share. One of the things that got me to do this right now is the fact that in the wake of the horrific murder of a godly man, Charlie Kirk, who gave people the platforms to have conversations, to share their views, while that man was still fighting for his life, while we were praying for him to survive, an evil part of the world, there was celebration that broke out among folks who only belong to the various death cults in the world. Most of those creatures are mere alphabets and pronouns, since they have reduced themselves to those. So, how did we get here? Instead of how did we get here, here is how we got here. You know, it became apparent to me especially after the 9/11, 2001 bombing of the World Trade Centers in New York. I didn't pay attention very much to anything about global issues at the time because I was focused on my own life, tending to my affairs, my events, to do what adults do, just adult. However, as the media, the lying legacy, worthless, corrupt, compromised mainstream media, focused on glorifying, making excuses, downplaying the dangerous beliefs of those who carried out that dastardly act, I knew something was wrong with the world. I began to see that a very serious part of the world has been damaged, broken, and it would take God to fix it, to put it back together again. I noticed that, but I didn't really dwell on it. As people tried to remove the focus from the fact that it was Islam terrorists that carried out that 9/11 attack and decided to present it as peaceful belief, while the attacks from that belief, people that believe that thing, grew and expanded all over the world, grew exponentially in the last 20 years or more. It just blew my mind. Concurrently, we began to see a slow but steady shift from real trust, faith, belief in the Lord Jesus Christ. As the world began to make room for everything else, and it promoted all other things apart from faith in God. We got here, my friend, largely due to the influence of what the lying very, very now worthless, fully compromised legacy mainstream media disseminated into our various homes through whatever devices we watched them or listened to them on. That singular avenue by which propaganda, lies, fake news, deception were churned out all day, every day into our homes, lives gradually, that programmed people everywhere to become soulless, hollow, brainwashed, over-caffeinated, needy, whiny, unreliable, reckless, thoughtless, insensitive, unemotional, deranged individuals who had no fear of or regard for God in any way. The world, through various means, methods, and activities, decided that God has no part or was no longer relevant to the scheme of things in relation to mankind. The world turned its back on its creator. The earth decided to go try other means. Look at where we are. The failure is colossal. The result is stinging every one of us. The media brought us here. People's souls have been seared, deadened. People don't care no more. This is the first part of this. I will come back to share, to bring the final part. But the media has played a huge part in bringing the world to where it is, this standstill point. Not standstill from moving forward positively, but retrogressing to the barbaric ways where you revert to violence, to fighting, instead of reasoning, dialogue to resolve issues amicably. We got here because the media helped to remove God out of the equation. Thank you for your time. I'll see you again soon. God bless.